simple message. Arito utlwa Julius or country ya kwalwa. Haiyo eo.
Do not listen to Mickey Mouse.
So, Julius Malema has been mobilizing the country for the post-Bolo national shutdown. On the other side, we are having Nhlanhla Lux, who's also mobilizing people to sabotage this national shutdown. Who's going to win and who's going to fail? Well, before we get to discuss more about this, I'm inviting you to watch this video more careful. Then I'll see you after then.
We've missed out on education programs and calendars because of COVID. Left and right. Ha ambulance attack. Ambulance ambulance move. Julius o country. I know Salona skana na Salona kaofela man. I want Julius o country. Ka di 20 tsona tseo. Ba bangata bana no my previous video ke entse mistake ka date. I tlo promotela Julius nonsense. I tlo go date right. So ngono ke tlwele ka di 20 tse ke re di 20. Ka di 20 tsona tseo ha ona country tlo kwala. The EFF it's fine. Ba ka apply la March then rona ba lengwe ba respect molao wa country. Re tla thusana le mapodisa le batho kaofela ebile will make sure there's a deployment of other forces. Re tse sure ba marcha from one point to another point, to the next point, or point A to point B. Ba apply 100, ba shebi wenze ba bina Oliver Tambo or whatever their songs are. Ba bine mo lentse ba rasa, ba siye memorandum ba isiya, ba ya high like everyone else. They are entitled to marching. Marching is within their legal and constitutional right. Ba ka marcha. But they're not going to infringe on other people's rights, but baskaya dikolo, baskaya mesebetsing. Like I said, on that day, there's someone that's going to get a job, who's going for an interview, Julius Akwale, country. One hour turns out 8 years about them saying, it's breakthrough, I can't tell you, Julius Ukwete country. Yeah, Julius, I think, Recall fast pan, it's our talk by about Hiran, it's a fella severe and trefella. I thought that doesn't like it. So, my message is simple. The tracker, all the trucks are going to move on that day. That's business as usual. Our economy is going to move as usual. We don't have time to entertain people with the political battles using the country as toys and tools to gain political score. What has Julius done or the EFF done in our communities over the last many years? Now all of a sudden, by the way, they are part of the problem. They're in parliament. Why don't they exercise their parliamentary muscle to actually change the country? Number of times they've had an opportunity to change the country. Have they? The answer is no. They just go in parliament and make a noise just to be relevant and be popular and trend. We're not here for trends, man. Change the country if you want to change the country. The message from outside is simple. The economy of this country is not going to suffer one more day. It's not going to bleed one more day. People got businesses, they can't even come back. Some of them are hanging on for dear life over the country. Yes, why it's 100 rand? Some companies, most companies in the country, no work, no pay. Why it's about cheaper? Why it's 100 rand when Julius, liver EFF, is a different 100 rand take Risabana by 4. Skolo, Baja, Koskolo. Kay repeat, ba bana ba kena ko di Saint Watwa di private school. Tabe ba ya sekolong ka letsatsi le wena nana go tse country ka lona. Ba shebile di teacher ba ba rutiwa, ba rona ba palla ko ya dikolong because of hona le nyaka mo country. E re go bolella ona Julius o tlokalang country. Ka di 20 ba ya ba EFF ba lo marcha le batho ba bona ba lengo ki ba rented crowd, hired crowd. Aba yetse ntho ba yetsang well done for being law-abiding citizens. Start at point A, finish at point B. You hand over the memorandum if you must, and then you must all just go home. If I took to country next. Where were you? Where were you when the truck drivers were protesting, saying that people no no abitsa di tlaela today bata ba phagamele ba thuso phagama ba kwale di harbor le di border. Yes, but the border tla kwala ke ba longore haba le di highway ka di truck di tla kwala ke ba bao ba tswang ko ntle ene ba kwala dila ka bona ba ka tlo re tloela.
That is Nhlanhla Lux responding back to Julius Malema, but that did not go in vain because some people who have to come and respond back in behalf of Julius Malema. Let's watch.
This country and ziyenzakala kwamanje ngithola abantu baluze imisebenzi yabo. uJulius Malema warned us about that and yenzakele lento le. Where were you? Where were you? uJulius warned us about Eskom. Julius want us about SAA. Julius want us about the Transnet. Where were you? Asizozwa ngawe Nhlanhla Lux. Asizozwa ngawe. Thina sizomamela into ye-EFF no Julius bayishoyo sithathe sifakela amakhanda wethu. Wena asitsheli nix. Asitshela fuck all.
Now that you have managed to watch these two videos, let us try to have a conversation. Well guys, it is for some times now that this national shutdown, which was been announced by the president of EFF, Julius Malema, it has raising up a lot of drama. You know, people get to be divided instead of being united, all because some people, they have to come and sabotage this upcoming national shutdown, all because it is coming from Julius Malema himself, or just because maybe they don't like Julius Malema. Some people also who feel like this national shutdown supposed not to be taking place, and they are trying by all means not to participate in it, all because they believe that it's not something that's going to work good for them. So you get to see that people, they are coming with a different point of views about this national shutdown. But let's put that aside and try to focus at least about these two individuals, Julius Malema, Nhlanhla Lux. The question I want you to ask yourself is, why Nhlanhla Lux have to come and interfere in EFF matters which he knows very well that they don't get along, which they did not mention his name, they did not criticize whatsoever he was busy with, and all the suddenly he pop up and deliver his message on social media? That is the question. Because the reason why I'm asking this question, I heard many people saying that there is someone more powerful behind Nhlanhla Lux's message. There is some people who are motivating him in order for him to come on social media and try to demobilize what the EFF leader Julius Malema is trying to mobilize. So, you know, and in my analytics, I have to go and try to dig a little bit more deeper to try to understand whether these rumors that I've been hearing here and then, whether it is true or not. And trust me, guys, we're going to discuss it in a very few minutes so that we can both try to be in the same page. But still again in the same question, why Nhlanhla Lux have to come and respond or interfere on EFF matter? Because they have launched the message, and this message, it was either you take it or either you leave it, either you accept it and welcome it, or either you just ignore it. But why Nhlanhla Lux did not choose either to one of those two? Instead, he preferred to come and respond back. And here, guys, we're talking about the same man who always claimed to be that is to say that is not a politician. We're talking about the same man who always said that we are tired of politicians with their mafias, which sound very beautiful, but yet is trying to get to engage himself with politicians and political parties activities. You understand what I mean to say by that? Like you're saying one thing and you do the other way around. Nhlanhla Lux, in his message time to time, he always said that he don't want anything to do with politicians. Yet is the one who's trying to interact himself with politicians. Because when you get to listen to the message of EFF leader Julius Malema, he did not mention either the name of Nhlanhla Lux there, whether Operation Dudula, whether the Soweto Parliament. He did not mention nothing about it. He did not even try to even go there. But in response, we get to hear Nhlanhla Lux, who's trying to respond straight to the Julius Malema. And you ask yourself a question. Okay, first of all, we don't say that Lux don't have the right to comment on what Julius Malema had said. All of us, we do comment about it. That is how democracy works. You can get to comment, you can get to criticize, but You don't need to give the impression like you are being part of that, or you are being part of politics, because you've been saying that your organizations is not a political organization. Therefore, you should stick to remain more natural. To have, even if you have to criticize politicians, but you do it in the way that is not gonna make politicians to come back on you. And that is number one, that Lux so far he failed to do so, because if you get to listen to his language, is a popularity language which politicians get to use in order for them to have voters, in order for them to have people who love them, in order for them to become even more famous. And that's what we get to see. So this is another way that Lux is trying to tell people, like, he can't survive without politicians and politics. If Julius Malema did not spoke out about this, then which means Lux will disappear. It's not gonna trend anymore on social media. So he need to have something that he can manage to hang on in order for him, for his word or his voice, I mean, to be always heard out there. So obviously, when you get to listen to him, for me, as I told you in my previous video, I don't count Nhlanhla Lux as an independent individual or someone who's not doing politics. No, I see him also as a politician. And as I always tell you, the day will seem somewhere, where in the public administrative, that day you'll remember what I always tell you. Now let's back to what I was trying to say earlier on. Why Lux have to come now to talk about this? Why he could not keep quiet? Because the moment you say that you are not doing politics, and it happened that one of the politicians, they have this kind of things which you disagree with them, there's only two ways for someone who does not do politics. Either ignore them, even if you have to motivate your people and say that they should not participate or they should not be part of this national shutdown, then you should do it in a way that you don't need to make that politicians or that political party to feel like you are trying to challenge them. Because when you get to listen to the first message of Lux, he was very clear in his message, loud and clear, like it was kind of like there won't be national shutdown. And he went on mentioning the name of Julius Malema for more than 50 times in that short videos. Malema, 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 Malema. I count 50 times. So that already, it is something that is a way either is being someone who's being used in order to demobilize this mobilization of people, or either he's someone who's in the world of politics. Now let's try, I'm not assuming, but this is just analytics we're doing together, right? So let's say, for an example, that is being used. Now the next question is to know by who. Well, according to my own understanding, it's being used by people, business people, who feel like they have something to lose on that day. Same people that Malema did not want to see on the street on that day. Those are the same people that they'll feel like they'll have to lose a lot. Forget about what he's saying, for an example, like, no, does Malema know the value of 100 rand? Does Malema know this and that some people get paid per hour, some people get paid per day. If you don't show up at work, you're not going to get paid. Bravo, that is true. That is true. But though these people that are getting paid, do you know who makes more money than these people? Because what these people get paid for, that is a peanut money compared to what these business owners, they usually make per day. In our previous video, when Malema spoke about this national shutdown, I told you guys on how impact this can have on the national economy. Starting with the state, the government, they're not going to lose a million. Instead, they'll lose billions of money in one day. Because on that day, it will be considered as a day where people don't need to go and pay tax. You pay tax when you work or have money. So a lot of business, they won't be able to function on that day. So, and when, as we all know, that the economy of this country is still in the hands of apartheid system, people who've been there, they don't want to let other people to take over. These are the same people who can use someone as Lux to come and attack the EFF. And here, when you get to see him responding to the media, to this national shutdown call that the EFF leader had made, he did it after how long? How many times? Because the Malema, he had mentioned these things about 10 days ago now, if I'm not mistaken. And him only came out recently. What was he still waiting all this time? Because when we get to see in the world of politics, all the politicians, they had reacted immediately after the EFF leader Julius Malema had spoken out. Now it took time. So during this time, obviously, we can try to understand that there might be other people who have to go and motivate him. No, look, we know that you are a public figure, you are an influencer. Go ahead on media, try to call for people to sabotage this and that. That it is a possible way of this happening. We are not assuming, we're just trying to give analytics. Now, what will happen next? Because even when I get to go through the comment section, I get to see people are having different views about this. Some people that are in support of this national shutdown. Some people are not in support. They are supporting also Lux on what is saying that day there should not be a national shutdown. And as I said again, here there's only two things involved. There are people who will benefit from this national shutdown, and there are people who are not going to benefit from this national shutdown. So if you know already that on that day, if national shutdown take place, then you lose a lot, you'll have a lot to lose, then obviously you'll support Lux. But if it happened that on that day it will be more beneficial for you, not only because of the how relaxed you'll be relaxing at home, or how much you will have to make on that day in other activities, but just because for the fact that we're talking about something which need to be found the solution right now. And if you can't find the solution right now, don't expect that the solution will come tomorrow. Well, the choice is it is all up to you. You are the one who know what you want. You are the one you've been also going through a lot lately because of all these crises. So we shall wait and see. As we are here, we're gonna come back and tell you again who's gonna succeed with this or not. Because another things Lux seem to forget so far is that the fact that it's trying to mobilize people to sabotage this national shutdown is also trying to prove how strong his leadership he have. If people get to listen to him on that day and the national shutdown failed, then the next Nhlanhla Lux that you will see is not going to be the same one that you are seeing today, because it will really put him on other level. But if he fail, well, I don't know what will happen after then, because obviously it will be a very historical event for the EFF, knowing that in the year 2023, March 20th, we managed to call for the national shutdown and the whole country was down. Everyone, they the power, they listen to what we said. We shall wait and see, as we are here to keep you informed and give you our best analytics. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's what I prepare for you today. But before you leave, do me a favor, make sure that you follow and subscribe to our channel's page so that you don't miss any of our videos. Drop us also the comment down below so that we can get to see what you think about all of these things here that we get to see between Lux and Malema. And obviously I'll see you again in our next video. But for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.